Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. Today, we're going to talk about some questions Mike from episode 69 has, as well as a few updates. For those of you who didn't watch episode 69, in that episode we talked about some problems Mike had. And what we're going to talk about today are some questions that actually are from a previous email from Mike. And before we look at his questions, as always, what I talk about here is general advice, general thoughts, and not specific medical advice to you, Mike, or anybody else. That being said, let's read these 4 questions. So, my doctor felt light therapy would not help me. What are your thoughts? So let me just share with you what I generally tell patients. So I have not come across, and I will have to really read the literature, but I have looked into this and I have not come across any large studies on light therapy for insomnia. Light therapy, which for those of you who are not familiar with it, involves exposing yourself to bright light, 10,000 lux, for typically 20 to 30 to 40 minutes in the morning. And it is usually used for seasonal affective disorder, like seasonal depression, depression that happens in the darker half of the year. It can also be used for shift work and jet lag and things like that when you want to kind of shift your sleep phase. But I definitely have had patients who have told me that light therapy has been helpful for insomnia. And I've also read posts on Reddit, this ginormous online discussion board, where people have said that light therapy really helped with their insomnia as well. I cannot think of any side effects or anything that can negatively impact your sleep if you use light therapy in the morning or during the day. Perhaps if you use light therapy in the night, that may not be a good idea. Now, how is it that light therapy perhaps can be helpful for people with insomnia? Well, I see in 2 ways. Firstly, if you're feeling, if you're not sleeping well and you're feeling kind of foggy and you're not very alert during the day, then bright light definitely can have an alerting effect. So that could be a direct positive effect it has. But how can it help you sleep? Well, this is completely unfounded in any science. These are just my own thoughts, but I feel like perhaps light therapy not only can make you feel alert, but also preserve your sleep drive, preserve your sleep hunger, so that you're more, you have a stronger sleep drive when you go to bed and sleep better. How do I think this could be happening? Well, although you're not falling asleep during the day, just merely feeling tired, could perhaps affect your sleep drive. So being alert may be better. Just some thoughts there. Let's move on to the second question here. What are your thoughts on him forcing me not to watch TV after 10:30 p.m. even with blue blocking lenses, even though I have no problem becoming sleepy? Again, let me just share what I tell my patients, because this question often comes up. What should I be doing just before I go to bed, or if I leave the bedroom at night, what should I be doing? Well, there are definitely different thoughts on this. Personally, and I base this on literature that I have reviewed, light or screens have not been shown to have a big impact on people with insomnia. So I feel like if you find that you can, let's say, watch TV, for example, and that is distracting enough to keep you from thinking about things that is worrying you, but that the content of what you're watching is not super engaging, so it makes you hard to sleep, I think it's fine. With one caveat here, one thing I want to warn about, and that is some people tend to fall asleep while watching TV because it can be, pretty passive. You're sitting down, you're comfortable, you're watching TV, and that can really mess up your sleep. So if at any point during the afternoon, night, or later on, you find that you are even at risk of falling asleep while watching TV, then try to avoid it. Those are my thoughts in regards to that question. Question number 3. Is there anything else you can think of that will help me sleep all the way through the night? Well, as we heard about in episode 69, and as we've heard of from other people like Tuan and even Mark, as you develop insomnia, you may have this negative association of the bed as a place where you can't sleep, you toss and turn. And stimulus control can help with that. Stimulus control is leaving the bedroom where you're not sleeping, only returning to bed when you feel sleepy. That can help you reassociate the bed with sleep. But paradoxical intention, which I talked about also in episode 69, perhaps can be helpful when you have this problem. And what's paradoxical intention? Well, it's really hard to do, but paradoxical intention is when you go to bed not expecting to sleep. In fact, you go to bed trying to stay awake. And how is that helpful? Well, if you expect to fall asleep or you really want to sleep, that can kind of sabotage the effort. So paradoxical intention can help in these situations. And then number 4, I've always been a morning person, but it's weird that I never feel really fatigued, but I'm tired at certain points during the day. I often hear this in clinic. Somebody has insomnia, they have a hard time falling asleep and staying asleep, but then during the day they're not particularly sleepy, maybe a little foggy, not able to concentrate very well, but not feeling sleepy. And most likely this is because someone has or is in a hyper aroused state. Most people with insomnia have some type of stressor, some type of anxiety or fear that is fueling the insomnia, and that produces this, again, hyper aroused state where you have high cortisol levels. Our sympathetic nervous system is very active, and we're in this type of fight and flight mode, particularly when going to bed, and that carries over into the day. You're hyper aroused during the day, and you don't really feel particularly sleepy. So just some comments there. And again, Mike, Tuan, Mark, Katie, everybody else who's contributed, thank you so much. I think it's really helpful for this channel, for everybody watching. Now, on that note, as you know, so far I've been reading comments or reading emails, and I feel like if people are willing to share and willing to do that in their own voice, that would be even better, even more powerful to hear it from somebody that is experiencing these trouble sleeping. So I've set up this Google voicemail whereby you can call anonymously. I think if you call with your phone, I might see the number, but you can set your phone to a mode where it doesn't display your number, or if you don't mind sharing it, you can just call me. And that number is 503-489-4802, and it goes straight to a voicemail. So my thought is, if you have a question about sleep or want to share some sleep problems you're going through, call that number, leave a message, and I will play that here on the channel, and then answer a question or offer some general advice. As always, you can of course also comment here or send me an email at insomniainsight@gmail.com. And oh yes, I always forget this. In a previous video, I said that I was going to meet these 2 other individuals living here in Oregon that are really interested in CBTI, and I think I said I was going to meet them in 3 days, but I meant 3 weeks. It's in fact on January 12th I'm meeting them, and we're going to talk about ways to improve access to CBTI and get the word out there. With that said, thank you so much for watching this, and I will be back very shortly. Until then, take it easy. Bye-bye.